So here we have the default screen of the VRX. Selecting the setup icon brings you to this menu, which you then select charts. This gives us all the different icons that are available. We're using the clear chart 2 in this example, so yours may vary. In addition, all the masks are available, so you can select whatever you wish. We will select a chart for the first entry by selecting that button. We're going to pick the 17 letter set, and we're going to set a particular line of letters, which will be our smallest one, in this case 2020. It'll be a full chart, and therefore we've selected that. On the second one, we're going to select the children's Allen charts, and this time we're going to select just one line of letters, in this case the 2030. So here we'll just populate a few more. We'll pick a astigmatic chart for the next icon, and the next chart we'll pick a worth 4 dot. And you can get the idea that you can put up to 15 different charts that will be available at your fingertips while you do the examination. So now let's take a look at how we can put the default chart in. So every time we start a new patient after we clear the Phoroptor, we can then decide what the patient's going to do. So we're just going to pick a vertical line with a 20/20 at the bottom for a quick entrance test. We can also then associate all the rest of the tests that we're going to do. For example, binocular balance. Let's say we're going to take a preliminary one of 20/30, where the prism is 3 diopters down in the right, up in the left, and they're seen double. But when we come out of that test, we would like a complete chart, multiple lines, ending in 2015. We're going to save it. And here's our charts in the corner lower left of what we've programmed. And now we're going to touch the clear button twice in order to clear the whole thing. And when we return to the screen, and of course, this is interfaced to our clear chart 2 via Bluetooth, also available as a cable. Our default line is now on the screen, as well as you can see on the clear chart 2. It is extremely convenient to do the charts in the program mode. So going back into setup and selecting programs, we're going to set up a program in number 1. First thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to set the PD, and that will default to a binocular test. Once we've set that, we can then go and select our sphere for our right eye. And we can also associate the proper test for that and the chart that goes with it. So in this case, we're picking a 20/20 line, and we will insert that one before going on for our cross cylinder. In the setup mode, the cross cylinder test will default to a specific type, as well as the charts that you've defined in the chart setup. Once we've done that, we will then go and do the left eye. And again, we could change the chart at that point, but we're going to keep it the same. We'll insert the Jackson cross cylinder, and we'll do a binocular balance as well, which will automatically insert the prisms and the line of letters that we had associated with that test. The fused cross cylinder test will be next for a near point testing, and at the end we will transmit the data. Now, we forgot to reset the patient. So the nice thing about this particular program is we can insert that without having to retype the entire instruction set. So now when we hit the exit button and the save button, just to be sure it's all nicely saved, we now see in the lower right-hand corner program number 1. By selecting that and sequencing using the large blue button, you can see that we now have our PD all set to go. If we hit the button, we will then get to our adjusting of the right sphere. And as we sequence all those things, we are going to search for an axis, checking the major meridians. We then will refine our axis because we've said we wanted a 2040 line. We'll now do the power, which we said we wanted a 2030 line in our chart setup. And then we can save that and continue on for the rest of the sequence that we have programmed. Of course, you notice there's a red and a pause button in the lower right-hand corner, so we can opt out of the test completely and stop the whole sequence, or pause and resume where we left off if we'd like to make some modifications but remain in the program. So here we go through and we'll do the same thing as step through each one of the programs with the searching for the astigmatic correction. So at this point, you can see on the screen there's 3 down in the right, 3 up in the left for binocular balance. And we also had requested that we have a 2030 line initially as we did that. And as we do the balance and they come out of it, it does present the entire chart at 2015, which again, we had specified in the chart setup. I hope the video has given you an idea of how the VRX can help in increasing productivity by chart assignments and how that assignment relates to programming your exam sequence.